Hello everybody, it's Jay Brayson here again on turn 12 of this game of Dominions 5. Let's have a look at what's happened. So we've got our research and enchantment completed up to 3. I'm going to research up to 4. I've changed some plans around and I've had a go on this turn before, so some doors are going to be laid in, but I'll be explaining why. Right, so there's Battle of Misty Bog, where we were beaten by the defending force of Lemuria, which is barbarians, which we wiped out, and dispossessed spirits that we somehow didn't. Let's have a look, because that's quite unfortunate that we didn't win that, frankly. So you can see we don't necessarily outnumber them, but after we cast 7 courage and so on, our guys have decent morale, so should be in a relatively good position. Okay, so here we've already, I think, broken the barbarians, or we are certainly about to. And there's just these dispossessed spirits in the back. But yeah, these guys are gone already. But for some reason that I've still yet to work out, our guys just decide to bolt. Despite their decent morale scores and the fact they aren't fighting anything serious, it's just a bunch of soulless warriors. I mean, they could have landed on this guy and killed him, no problem, but them's the breaks. Final rest missed, which is unfortunate. And then our troops all fled, which is just bizarre. Because we lost, in sum total, probably less than half of our troop HP. Wiped out the barbarians and so on, killed most dispossessed spirits. But hey, some you win, some you lose. Koromu, we had a pretty disastrous defeat actually. We killed a lot of dispossessed spirits, but the Spectral Histati and Velites are going to be a problem for us in future. But it did show what the enemy's bless is, so I'll show that off. And also showed me that I need to take care about the positioning of these guys, probably keep them back prior to blessing them, because before they're blessed, their composite bow attack is much less effective than post blast. Right, they haven't cast it yet, but they will in a second. And there we go. So the blast on these guys is an A4 D7 blast. It's precision 1, which is 1 point, shot res 5, which is another 1 point, and combat speed 30, which is 2 pointer. Undead regen is death 7 incarnate, so their pretender's going to be awake already. And unlike in Dominions 4, it doesn't provide you any additional undying bonus taking pretender with death magic. So the effect of having a D7 pretender to cast that is restricted to just giving their undead regeneration rather than any additional hit point bonus. After the abortive attacks and the fact that these guys can move really, really fast, I'm hesitant to go into them just yet, even with this doom stack that apparently they're quite scared of. It's not really a doom stack though, is it? It's just some guys, but anyway. So yes, I'll be searching in this one, to some extent taking advantage of the fact that in Dom 5 your pretender only loses 10% HP per candle. But by the same token it gains 10%. It was always intended to work that way, it's just it didn't in Dom 4. What other rules have we got going on? So we have mammoths going out of our capital and out of Agraria over here to attack Umbro, home of discount sportswear, and then they'll go into Last Step Swamp or Histria, depending on basically how I feel next turn. If we lose a couple of mammoths, I probably won't go into a heavy cav province. If we don't, I'm probably going to risk it. So that's my plan with that one. At some point it would be nice to take these provinces, which are a little bit out of the way for anyone else other than me and Lemuria. But again, we've got bigger, ghostlier fish to fry. So what's going on here? We've got this guy searching because we can't afford lab this turn, and it'll just reset his orders. There's no real harm in doing it, there's no particular benefit to either. Eventually want to get a lab up in this province, although to be fair it doesn't have a level 2 fort yet, so maybe not. Maybe we'll fly him back over here and get all this sorted while we get the mages out of this province over here. What are we doing in terms of recruitment over here? So we're getting another caretaker, who is going to be useful to fight undead with because of the Thermitology Dust at Dust spell, as well as the fact they're a priest. Soon we're going to have anti-magic, which is going to help us quite a lot against the enemy MR negates for half damage spectral weapons and also against paralyze. It is going to be restricted to our tender just for the moment, but that may change later in the game. And let's see what's going on here. Do we have access to level 3 or level 2 enchantment yet? Yes, we do. Okay, good. So personal regen. So I'm going to cast instead of generic, and going to get these guys on Hold and Fire, which in Dominions 5 is the order you access by pressing J. May come in handy for one or two of you at some point in the future. And of course you can always select it with this as well. Anything else going on this turn? Not really. So this guy I'm leaving here to eventually construct a palisade. There's no real use scouting over here. This is still quite a long way from our capital, even if Erythea is all the way up to here. In terms of mercs, Bandar Band, yeesh, it's already taken quite big casualties. But it hasn't retreated, because if it had retreated they'd all be dead. So they've probably taken a province or two with them. Well, at least one province. And yeah. Over here we're just carrying on with some scout recruitment and also some area light infantry, just building a stock of them up. Their magic weapons quite helpful, even though they are craven dogs with their morale of 10, which in enemy dominion is going to reduce to 9. Even with good commander bonuses, that only makes them kind of average, and our faction doesn't get any Holy 2 leaders outside of the cap-only mage, which I'm not recruiting at the moment for reasons of economics, basically. Harem Seraphim, is that really what I want to buy? I suppose it is. It's a tough call whether to go Caretaker or Harem Seraph. Both have their place. The banish on these guys is somewhat good if it hits, but we're probably just as well doing Dust to Dust, to be honest, so I'm just going to get as much of that queued up as possible, because we're not using Undead at the moment. They are, so it's only going to inconvenience them if they cast it at all. They may not. They may not be in range at the start, so that's another thing to consider. Right. Hopefully he's going to be able to spread his dominion a little bit. We're moving scouts around the place. This one's going to go over here. One thing about the change to immortality in Dominions 5 is that they are going to get immortality even in our dominion, which is going to be annoying to deal with, frankly, but it isn't instantaneous like it was before. So if we take this Grand or Lima Consul and the Grand Lima down, wherever that is, probably over here by now, if we kill them, they are going to be out of the game for a little while. So it's not like in the bad old days when invading Lemuria basically just meant constant attacks by Lima Consuls and so on, with a kind of decent bless. Lemuria is inconvenienced in two ways in that front. For one thing, they start with Death 3, so that's 120 less scales to work with, and also if you take a god non-awake, you won't gain the benefits of any Incarnate Bless until they wake up. So that does put a bit of a stop on them going for a really strong bless and trashing their scales completely the other way. Anyway, that's going to be it for this turn, so thank you very much for watching. I've been Jay Brayton, and goodbye.